What is up, Richmond Rillaboom fans? It is your boy Hammy G coming in with our Week 7 match. We're doing another replay recap video. Again, I don't know why I didn't record Week 7. I think I was just very tired and didn't feel like recording. And after our victory against Rye Week 6 when we didn't record, I was like, you know what? I'm on a roll right now. I don't really feel like live commenting while I play. I'm just going to play this match. I really wasn't in like a great mood, I think is what it was. And I just didn't, I just kind of wanted to get the match over with. And so that's what I did. So we're doing a recap video. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging completely. We're going to do a recap video. Once again, I'm recording this actually right after I just recorded my Week 6 recap. And so, fair warning about the background alien noises because it's very late. I'm up late with my elderly, senile French bulldog who's currently pacing around like, you know, a senile old man that he is. He makes very weird noises and he farts. And so, yeah, that's what those noises are, if you guys can hear that. So, taking a look at Snek's team in the bottom right hand corner. Snek's a really cool dude. Been playing in draft leagues with them for a long time. He's one of the homies. And he's got kind of a scary team. He's got Spectrier, which I think he drafted number 1 overall in the league. He's got Roaring Moon, which is always a super threat. Dragon Dance, Roaring Moons are very scary. Speed boosting, you know, photosynthesis. Roaring Moons are scary, like an energy booster. Mega Gardevoir is very scary. It just blows things back with hyper voice. I don't really have a great like Mega Gardevoir switch in since Mega Venusaur gets destroyed by Psychics, and our Steel type is also a Dragon type, and Gary the Goodra. And the things that most worry me are some Pokemon which might look familiar to viewers of this channel, Jirachi and Conkeldurr. Now, Jirachi and Conkeldurr are kind of triggering to me right now because they are 2 Pokemon which were on the championship team which beat me in the championship of RGBL. There was a choice banded Conkeldurr in particular, which just punched my Iron Boulder's face in. And there was a Cosmic Power, Stored Power Jirachi, which stopped my Grafaiai from sweeping and destroyed my Grafaiai and destroyed all my hopes and dreams of winning a championship. So, yeah, we don't really love seeing those Pokemon in particular in prep. So we gotta bring some cool stuff. So this is what I'm bringing to this match. We are bringing Palafin back off the bench. Palafin had to sit out last week, and Palafin did not like sitting on the bench. So he's come back with vengeance. Bringing a Throat Spray Boom Burst Palafin, fully special attacking, because I figure he's probably going to bring a Rocky Helmet Golisopod to deal with like a flip turning Palafin. Golisopod is very bulky on the physical side, and can eat like water hits pretty well. So I was like, what's something that could blow that back? He could also try to deal with it with Rotom Wash. Um, Same thing, like maybe like a Rocky Helmet, Rotom Wash. So I figured Boom Burst with Throat Spray to give me the special attack boost would be pretty good here. And Draining Kiss can destroy Roaring Moon. If I can stay healthy, I can like live a hit from Roaring Moon and just blow it back with Draining Kiss. And then Surf hits most other things. And then Jet Punch is there because even without any attack investment, even running Timid Nature, Jet Punch still hits things pretty damn hard and can be a nice thing for like just picking off weakened Pokemon late game or something. So that's our Palafin set. I was kind of coming into this, I was hoping to lead with Palafin to get the transformation into the hero form right away and force some switches. So, like, because my plan is to lead Palafin, I know that he's probably going to want to go into either Rotom or Golisopod on my Palafin. So, I'm like, what are things that do well against that? So, bringing a Venusaur, Mega Venusaur, a very pretty fast, max special attack, modest Venusaur this week with Trailblaze actually. So the idea here is if I can bring in Venusaur right away after I just hard switch Palafin out, thinking he either goes into Rotom or Golisopod, then I bring in my Venusaur and right away click Trailblaze. Um, the idea here is I want to break down Jirachi early game. If I click a Trailblaze, I'm going to outspeed the Jirachi unless it's Choice Scarf. And then I can, with max special attack, I can do some nice damage with Earth Power and really be able to like get a good idea of what kind of Jirachi it is, which is crucial for dealing with Jirachi because it can do so many different things. That's part of why Jirachi sucks to play against, because like it's so hard to predict, and you spend half the match like trying to figure out what set it is. So I want to figure out what set it is right away. Jirachi is very likely his Venusaur switch in, so I'm gonna click Trailblaze, I'm gonna force it in, and I'm gonna do damage with Earth Power. That's the plan with Venusaur. Then we're bringing Cinderace, mostly just for core change to get rid of hazards. Spikes can be set by Golisopod. He's got a couple stealth rockers. I don't want to deal with that, so I'm bringing core change, heavy duty boots, sucker punch for Spectrier. I can run Adamant because I'm just basically speed creeping Jirachi. And Pyro Ball hits most things pretty hard. U-turn is good for momentum. That's Cinderace. Bucky O'Hare, baby. Then we're bringing Choice Scarf Enamorus. Choice Scarf Enamorus looks really good here. This is another reason why I really want to chip down Jirachi as early as possible. Because once Jirachi is weakened, Choice Scarf Enamorus just kind of goes off. Earth Power is there to hit the few Moonblast switch-ins really hard. It hits Nidoqueen, it hits Jirachi. But yeah, basically this thing is here just come in and click Moonblast, and if I can kill something with Moonblast and he doesn't know that I'm Scarfed yet and he wants to bring in his Spectrier to revenge me, then I just stay in and do like 65-70% with Moonblast again, outspeed it, and can live a hit from Spectrier. I can live even like a Choice Specs Shadow Ball. So I can just stay in, click Moonblast, and 2-hit KO that Spectrier, which would be great. not having to worry about switching into that thing. So yeah, Enamorus is a pretty good win con here. Also can potentially, like, if he thinks that Roaring Moon could come in and outspeed me, he doesn't know I'm scarfed yet. I can take that thing out. And Healing Wish is there just in case, like, I don't really have good breaking opportunities and I want to, like, heal something up like Palafin or Venusaur. Then we're bringing, this is the other thing that might come in, like, on turn 2, depending on what he wants to go into. On my Palafin lead, I might bring in my Zoroark. I think the plan was to put the Enamorus in the back so that the first time Zoroark comes in, it's disguised as Enamorus, as another potential way to break down Jirachi. Because Jirachi's very likely going to be the Enamorus switch in. And so if he brings that in thinking it's Enamorus, and I can just click Bitter Malice and do a lot of damage to it and potentially kill it or just wreck it. So that's the idea behind Zoroark. Again, just helping to break for Enamorus. And U-Turn is good for momentum. Shadow Sneak is good for picking off a weakened Spectrier. Wanted to have a couple like safety nets for Spectrier because that thing is scary as shit. And then we also have Assault Vest Goodra with max HP and max physical attack Adamant Gary. So he's actually pretty strong Gary this week. I figured that being max attack Adamant would probably catch him off guard. He probably wants to switch in things like Rotom or, again, potentially Jirachi on this Goodra. So I wanted to have knockoff for like Spectrier and Dragon Tail for phasing things out. If things like I don't want Roaring Moon to come in and like set up in my face. So I wanted to be able to just stay in and click Dragon Tail. And Goodra is like so bulky, I can actually like eat hits from Roaring Moon. But yeah, Goodra is one of the few things that can take hits from Spectrier with the Assault Vest. And it's just crazy special defense stat. And it can also take hits from Mega Gardevoir. And it destroys Mega Gardevoir with a heavy slam, so it's Nidoqueen really hard with the Earthquake. So yeah, Gary's just really good here once again. So let's check out the battle, guys. So you notice one thing right away. We talked a lot about Jirachi in prep, and there's no Jirachi. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, Choice Scarf Enamorus can potentially have a field day here. Nidoqueen is the only thing standing in the way. So our job goes from, instead of focusing on wearing down Jirachi, we got to wear down Nidoqueen. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to stick with the leading Palafin and hard switching it out. And so let's see how that goes. Very surprised to see no Jirachi, and I was honestly expecting Conkeldurr too. So he actually leads Rotom, which means we definitely stick with our game plan of hard switching Palafin out. We've got a couple good Rotom switch-ins, so we're going to go right into Venusaur, because there's not really... I was expecting a Volt Switch, but he actually substitutes. And I'm like, that's interesting. It doesn't really worry me too much, because even though this is behind a substitute now, like I do have Trailblaze on this Venusaur, and it's looking like our plan to just click come in and click Trailblaze. Still looks like a green light on that. Trailblaze should break the substitute and will allow me to outspeed the next turn, so I can outspeed and then click Giga Drain. So yeah, and it doesn't really look like there's many good switch-ins to Venusaur here, aside from like Roaring Moon, I guess would be the bulkiest thing on the special defensive side. So yeah, we're sticking to the plan of just coming in and clicking Trailblaze. Turn 2, he goes for Shadow Ball behind the sub. We see that it is a pretty offensive Rotom from that damage, but even a very offensive Rotom does not do much to our Venusaur. So we get the speed boost with Trailblaze, and then Giga Drain is really free. Turn 2, he actually brings in Golisopod, which I was surprised to see Golisopod come in here. I was thinking that he would be saving that for Palafin, but he brings it in. I was also surprised to see him not click First Impression here. And I was thinking I might be able to kill him with Sludge Bomb. So, you know, Venusaur is really just here to break. I didn't really have much of a plan to, like, ever switch it out, and I didn't think that he could kill me. With any one move, he'd probably do some pretty good damage with First Impression, but I wasn't going to switch Venusaur out because I didn't really have a great switch in necessarily. I wanted to keep Goodra healthy for Gardevoir and Spectrier. So yeah, we just stay in and click Sludge Bomb, especially because I think I had a chance to kill with Sludge Bomb. I don't know what he clicked in there. He said after the fact that he was expecting me to switch, so maybe he clicked like knockoff or something. But we just barely miss getting the KO. But we do poison him, and he's down at 2%. And the emergency exit ability forces him out. So we're looking good here. We're at max health. We got the speed boost. Should outspeed everything that's not like a Roaring Moon or Spectrier. And yeah, we're looking in good shape. And Venusaur's already like pretty much taken out the Golisopod, done some damage to Rotom. We're doing good. Swamp is putting in work early, like we hoped. See the Nidoqueen come in, and I'm like, remember what we talked about? We just need to break down his Moonblast switch-ins. So I'm like, here's my chance to break down Nidoqueen. I'm staying in and clicking Earth Power. He eats it pretty darn well, a lot better than I expected. And when I look at the calcs, I see that he's like max special defense, max HP, max special defense, assault vest to be able to eat that Earth Power so well. Because I'm max special attack modest. So he goes for Earth Power of his own. He does about 33%. So I eat the Earth Power even better than he eats the Earth Power. Then we go for Giga Drain to get a little bit of health back to ensure that we can 1v1 this thing. He does 32% with Sludge Wave next. There's no way I'm switching out here because, once again, like, once I can get this thing out of the way, Choice Scarf and Enamorus just kind of goes off. So that's really my focus here, is doing as much damage to this Nidoqueen as possible. The fact that he's staying in, I'm like, love it. I can 1v1 this thing. The more damage I see on this thing, the happier I'm getting. So I click Giga Drain again just to heal myself up a bit more. I knew Earth Power wasn't going to kill, so Giga Drain was the play. He Earth Powers again. Now to ensure the kill, we go for Earth Power. And Nidoqueen goes down. And guys, that means, Enamorus goes off here. So we say we do preserve Venusaur here because the Rotom is still alive. He brings in Golisopod again. And holy damage, that's max HP Goodra resisting the first impression. He did 46%. That was one of his terror. He was a terror bug. Gotta be choice banded. Um, but we do live it, and he dies to poison. So then he brings in Rotom, and again, this was where like I was like, okay, I think me being max attack adamant is gonna catch him by surprise here. I'm not gonna bring in Venusaur because I'm already very weakened with Venusaur, and he could have potentially like um, 2-hit KO'd me if I just hard switched in Venusaur there, and that's really my only other like Rotom switch in. So I just stay in and click knockoff, do 41%, do a nice chunk to this Rotom. Now at this point, I will go into Venusaur because, like I said, I do want to keep our Goodra around as like to have one thing that can take a hit from Spectre or Gardevoir and do a lot of damage to those things in return. So we preserve Goodra. We go ahead and sack our Venusaur here. We see that he was a nasty plot Rotom, which made sense once I, saw the substitute turn one. I figured he might be a nasty plot. But this is looking like a great chance to get our Choice Scarf Enamorus going. Snake on Snake violence here. Feel Snake Man. It's about to feel a Snake Moonblast. Boom. We knew that because he was an offensive Rotom, our Moonblast was definitely going to kill. Now, exactly like we hoped, he brings in Spectre, probably thinking that he can either force me out or revenge kill, get his Spectre going. He cannot, sir. We are Choice Scarf, we outspeed, we do 61%. So he was thinking that I would switch out there into my Zoroark, which would be immune to Shadow Ball, which is why he clicked Dark Pulse, I'm sure. But because we outsped, and because I knew I could live a Choice Specs Shadow Ball from full, we just stay in and we Moonblast. And we Moonblast again because he has no switch-ins. And Spectre goes down. So Snake, this is why we just really wanted to get rid of that Nidoqueen because Enamorus doesn't really have anything standing in its way now. So he brings in Gardevoir. I knew that Gardevoir is very bulky on the special defense side. And so he definitely could have lived a hit and then killed me with Hyper Voice. So at this point, Cinderace is looking like my best Hyper Voice switch in. And I don't really need Cinderace beyond that. And I knew that, like, if he clicked Calm Mind or something, Pyro Ball has a good chance to one-shot this Gardevoir. So he does indeed go for Calm Mind. Our Cinderace outspeeds this thing, goes for Pyro Ball, and kills it. One shot, baby, Bucky O'Hare, baby. One shot, Bucky O'Hare. Deadeye. Roaring Moon. I was a little bit worried of a Dragon Dance Roaring Moon here, I'm not going to lie. But I knew that the Libero Pyro Ball, or Libero U-turn was going to do a good amount. So we click U-turn. It does indeed do a good amount. He did not kill me with knockoff, so I don't think he was choice banned. I'm not sure what his item was on this Roaring Moon. But because our U-turn took him all the way down to just 2%, it's very free to just bring in Palafin and Jet Punch here for the win. Boom. Our team captain, Bebop, picking up the last kill and a nice 5-0 win this week. So, yeah, plan pretty much went exactly as I hoped. Um, the early game plan of like um, getting Venusaur in, leading Palafin, forcing either Rotom or Golisopod in, and getting that modest max special attack Venusaur going early game. Venusaur was able to do its job, and it really broke down Golisopod, which ended up being a very strong Golisopod. Choice Banded, Terrabug. That thing could have definitely done a lot of damage had I not broke it early. Um, but yeah, Venusaur was able to basically kill that and 1v1 the Nidoqueen, which totally cleared the way for enamorus. So we get another win, guys, and we're still on roll here. We're steadily moving up in the standings and really turned our season around after a couple rough losses. We added Gary the h-goodra and Snek our enamorus, and the team has just been doing great ever since. So we're loving the new look squad, and we're going to try to keep it rolling next week in week 8. Come back and check it out in our next video. Peace.